mixed numbers and conversions. The MAD method to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. So M, right, is going to be for multiply. As we're going to multiply the denominator and the whole number together. Right, so if we had a mixed number like this, right? So that's our mixed number, and we're changing it to an improper fraction, which would become 7 over 5. And then what we're going to do is A, right, the next step would be for add, because we're going to go ahead and add the product to the numerator. So after we go 5 times 1, that's 5. And then we add that 2, so that would become 7. And then D is for denominator. Because the denominator stays the same. So let's go ahead and look at the first example. A bakery is making a large batch of cookies for the holiday weekend. The recipe, 1 scaled cups for 25 and 2/3 cups of flour. So let's convert 25 over 2/3 to an improper fraction. So let's go ahead and rewrite this. So what we're going to do is, right, we're going to go ahead and multiply these numbers first. So that becomes 25 times 3. Well, that would be equal to 75. Then we're going to go ahead and add. Right, so this is that step. And so what we do is we take the 75 and then we add 2. So that would become 77. And so that becomes our new numerator, the 77. And then we keep our denominator. So we're just going to keep it as 3. So how do we represent this as an improper fraction? Well, it's 77 over 3. Just to kind of keep it coordinated on how that works, right? So if we look back, right, this is what we did here. So now let's go to the next example. So example 2, welder is working with a piece of steel plate, which is 2 3/4 feet long. Convert 2 3/4 to an improper fraction. So our first step is, I'm just going to go like that so we can just go ahead and write that, is we're going to multiply those two, right? Because it starts with M. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Then we go ahead and add. So we're going to go ahead and add 8 plus 3, right? So we're adding the product from the 2 times 4. We're adding it to the numerator, right? So that would become 11. So now that becomes our new numerator, 11. And then we keep our denominator, which would be 4. So this would be our improper fraction. Now let's go ahead and look at the next thing, which is fraction to a mixed number. So to change a fraction, like an improper fraction to a mixed number, we do the following. So we divide the numerator, so the top number, right, by the denominator. Then the remainder is the new numerator. And then we're always going to keep the same denominator. And then we will reduce if possible. So the denominator could change if we can reduce. So now let's go ahead and look at example 3. So contractor is remodeling a kitchen. The remodeled kitchen island will be 28 over 5 feet long. Convert 28 over 5 to a mixed number. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to go ahead And look at 28 over 5. So our numerator, right? This is our numerator. We're going to go ahead and divide that by the denominator, right? Just to refresh, right? So we're going to go 28 divided by 5. Well, 5 can't go into 2, but 5 can go into 28 5 times, because 5 times 5 is 25. We go ahead and subtract, and we get 3. So now we have this 3, which will become the new numerator, as that's the remainder. So this is really important right here and right here. And then, so let's go ahead and rewrite that. So now this becomes the new numerator, right? And then we keep our denominator. So what would that be? That would be 5. And what's our whole number? Well, our whole number is from here. So we're going to go ahead and put the 5 right there. So we have 5 and 3/5. And that would be our mixed number. Now let's go ahead and look at the next example. So example 4, convert 14 over 3 to a mixed number. Right, so 14 over 3, what we're going to do is take this numerator and divide it by the denominator. 3 can go into 14 4 times, right, because 3 times 4 is 12. We subtract 14 minus 12, well, that's 2. Well, remember this, we'll put it right here, that's our whole number. This is our remainder, and then we keep our denominator. So let's go ahead and reset that up, right? So this is our whole number. This is our right denominator, that doesn't change. And this is our numerator, right? So our new one. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. So we have 4 and 2/3, and that would be our mixed number.